Don't look under the internet.
Well, then you know what I'm gonna do is say, "Hello, everyone, and welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet, the greatest source of news about your grandma." That's Jason.
Hello.
That's Doug.
Hey.
I'm Walter Cronkite.
Of course you are.
And with us today, we have a very special guest.
We do.
Special guest.
Dead Awake's Dillon James Hare. Woo!
Hello. Howdy doody.
There it is.
Hello.
That's as epic of an entrance as I want from you.
Dylan, do you have a drink in your hand?
I do.
You do. All right.
What you drinking on?
I am having a Stella Artois as a casual beer.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, casual beer for a casual boy. I like that.
I just gotta work tomorrow. So
You and me both, and I have Maker's Mark in a dirty flask. So
Yeah, it's old.
yeah,
why I like
this
it.
hasn't been washed since the Ren Fair, and I was very sweaty at the Ren Fair. So
And it's
Good.
Then
just
just
adds flavor.
yeah,
Rub
yeah,
some dirt in it.
exactly.
it's just been sitting in my desk at home.
Aging.
Well,
Well, cling boys.
yeah, let's everybody raise a glass, drink a beer, whatever you got in your hand, to Dylan from Dead Awake. Everybody say thank you for him being here.
Thank you.
I'm sure the audience. Oh, well, thank you, but I'm sure the audience also said it at that time too.
Our live audience, yeah, they're a little slow, but it's fine. But
Yeah, they
They'll
take
get
their
there.
time with things.
as Mike says, when you hear the clink, fucking drink.
Yep.
You got it.
1, 2, 3.
There it is. Beautiful. So as you know, people may not be totally aware of, Dylan, your band is Dead Awake, and it is a band.
Wow.
We do band things.
You
as a
do
band.
band things. What is your role in the band?
I'm the vocalist, so I write lyrics. I scream into a microphone. I occasionally sing, and I bounce around for fun. I love telling people I scream into a microphone in front of crowds of strangers for fun. So that's, yeah.
I mean, that sounds like peak hype to me.
It sounds like
Oh,
us.
dude, it's a good time.
Sounds like us when we get too drunk.
Yeah. Just scream. I mean, we are just screaming into a mic at one point.
You probably sound better than we do, but yeah, well, shit, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. We have a fucking awesome topic today.
Yes, we're going to go over a couple different things. We're going to go over a pretty fun little topic, and then, Dylan, I'm going to just dig into you with a couple
Now,
fun
you're
questions.
gonna dig into him? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to dump into you,
There you
Dylan.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
So I got some hot sizzlers, but you know, you're in a band. Bands make sounds.
Here comes the fucking bird scooter.
We're going over some spooky, mysterious sounds today. And I am very excited because I think I found some of the creepiest sounding shit I ever can.
I don't know. One of mine is some creepy shit for sure.
Yeah, Doug's got some creepy shit. I have some creepy shit. I wish it was creepier, but it's famous, so...
Dylan, were you able to get yourself a creepy, spoopy sound?
Honestly, the only one I thought about was Lavender Town.
No, hey, I love Lavender Town. We're going to do an episode
Yeah.
on that very soon.
Hell yeah! So that was the only one I could really think of. Otherwise, I just kind of wanted to go into this blind. I'm a very, very like weak-minded person when it comes to horror shit. So I'm really excited to kind of be scared and everything. It's gonna be fun.
Well,
So that's why I kind of went into it blind.
All right.
We
well,
might get you pretty scared then. I do know, so it's
I'm in.
funny because we plan on doing Lavender Town for like episode like 4.
And then we're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, we already covered something with like suicidal issues.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't that great to cover another one right,
Right.
after.
Yeah.
Really just bum
Everybody's
people
gonna
out
be like,
some
"Are you
more.
guys all right?"
Yeah.
Pretty
Do you
much.
guys need anything? Need me to call anyone? So I figure I'll start this adventure into.
Man. The segues are unbelievable.
I'll start this adventure into mysterious sounds and noises and.
Hell yeah. So, in case anyone's confused about what we're doing, we all have kind of separately, none of us have talked about what we're doing, what we're talking about. We all separately have found different, like, creepy pieces of audio that has been recorded and either has been, you know, not able to be explained or is on the cusp of that, or is just downright fucking creepy.
Oh,
So you guys are gonna get a look into a bunch of creepy noises today.
yes, and real quick, right before I start mine, two things. One, I think I mentioned it before, but after this, after we go over all this spooky stuff, we're gonna actually interview Dillon and ask some cool questions. Two, I would like to thank Bruce because he bought us beer.
Bruce Thompson.
Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce Thompson.
So you're the reason I'm drinking out of this dirty flask because I subbed out beer for liquor.
Thank you so much, Bruce. You know, fucking bought us all a beer and then some. It's
I mean, he subbed as a Patreon and bought us beer. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
You
Super
can't get.
sweet boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
love
you,
you.
sir.
another super fan in the making.
Yep, love you, love him.
Mike's
Anyway,
gonna kiss you at some point.
If
I'm
he's
sure.
a dad, yes.
yes.
Are you a dad, Bruce? Let us know in
Let
the
us know.
comments.
So getting into my spooky sound now. It's not surprisingly, it's not like the weird, gross sounds you just normally hear us make. I have an actual creepy noise. This is actually called the Siberian hell sound.
Oh.
And on an episode of Coast to Coast with our boy Art
Hey!
Bell, fucking fart smell.
Fart smell. Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
There was a man that came in, and we'll play the audio for it too. Essentially talking about how he got audio files from his uncle. But essentially where this starts off is this starts way back in the Soviet Union.
Are we fucking going back to Russia
we
again?
always go
Every
back to Russia.
fucking time.
Dylan, I'm not too sure how much you've listened to us, but I think in just about every other episode.
Yeah, 50% of our episodes are about fucking Russia.
Dude, honestly, I can understand why.
If
It's
you-
a very interesting topic.
If you go on like a world tour, I would suggest staying away from
Yeah.
Russia because shit goes down there.
Oh, dude, I could imagine. I've played Metro before. I know.
Oh, so you know exactly what's up. And honestly, after the research we've done, that game looks more like a documentary than it does an actual piece of fiction. It's ridiculous. Between the sleep experiment, the fucking mother horse eyes, like, it's all over the fucking
Russian
place.
doll maker.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's some weird shit.
Yeah, I think I'm good on that.
So back in the Soviet Union, they started drilling a giant hole into the ground, which we actually talked briefly about in our Mel's Hole episode, I believe.
Yeah.
It relates.
Yeah, this is the deepest hole in the ground, and they, kept going up until, I believe it was like 1994 when they finally stopped, and they started in like the 70s.
Okay.
This hole went...
Wait. What?
Yeah, they started drilling in the 70s, and they stopped in the 90s.
It was like a really slow drill.
I-
Apparently.
Well, obviously
Apparently.
they pulled it in. Don't, you chuckle fucks, don't do this to me.
Holy shit.
That's the
Get it?
20-year-long drilling.
Okay, but even if they're doing like 8 hours a day for fucking 20 years,
Yeah. Well, so they did it
Alright.
because they wanted to experiment and see what is happening in that like middle ground between the Earth's crust and the mantle. They wanted to
Okay.
see how the Earth reacts and what kind of like elements and stuff they find down there. When they actually bored down there, they bored about 7 miles deep, and the drilling came to a halt. There's a scientist working on it called Dr. Azakov, and he stated that, I got a fucking dope-ass name, Azakov.
No, it sounds... Never mind.
Azathoth?
Sounds
Yep,
Cthulhian.
sounds so
Yes.
very close to something
Very
like Cthulhu, one of
Lovecraftian.
those. Yeah.
Yes. He actually uses this drilling to prove that Hollow Earth is real.
That's fantastic.
The way he does this is because when they drill down there, they found that where they were was thousands of degrees hotter than it's supposed to be at that point. It's supposed to be at 2,000 degrees on average, and they pegged numbers way higher. It didn't give specific numbers, but apparently they pegged numbers higher.
Hard air quotes.
Yes. So again, we're talking about coast to coast, so take this with a fucking
Right.
grain of salt.
It is coast to coast with fucking fart smell.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Di-
Art Bell.
Dylan, how much do you know about coast to coast?
I literally know nothing about it, to be completely honest.
We cannot blame you for that. So,
So,
coast. Go
you-
ahead, man. We seem to be in beat. You fucking take it.
Coast to coast is essentially what we do. They just talk about spooky shit, but any old rando can just call in and be like, I saw Bigfoot once, and Art would be like, oh wow, that's crazy. You can tell us
Could you
more.
draw us a picture?
Yeah. This dude just takes everyone's word for everything he says.
Everything's real. It's kind of how we approach this, but we also fact check it.
Yeah.
So-
Art does not. He doesn't care. He gets
doesn't
the
give a
views
fuck.
though.
Okay.
I have a sample from Coast to Coast with Art Bell though.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna play it, and you guys can hear the terror that is the Siberian hell sound.
Now they cleaned a better copy to you, and I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
That was really fucked up.
It's super spooky, isn't it?
Yeah, that.
You know,
I mean, that would come from underneath Russia.
That is the scream. That is the definition of like tormented people.
Yeah, no, you could.
or bears. It is Russia. That might just be a bunch of screaming bears.
Do they have
Like, out
hell
of
bears?
No
happiness.
way that's bears.
Hell bears?
You heard me.
I don't. A, I don't know what a hell bear is, and B, I don't think I want to know what a hell bear is. Okay, I do. But
Similar to a hellhound.
I know
but
what
hell
sky
bears.
bears are. That's not the same.
But it was still spooky.
Oh
Scary.
yeah, no, that
And
sounded like the
that
screaming souls of 1,000 generations.
kind
of
of
people.
explains what that Ash Goth guy. I forgot the doctor's name already. But that,
as a something.
yeah, that
Azakov?
Azakov, that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
explains what he was saying, like with the temperatures being at higher heat. Because he's over here drilling into the devil's lair. What a dick move, by the way. Because do you think the devil has like renter's insurance or something? You just drilled into his roof,
He's
and
just
now
like,
he's
"Just
got
come through the door, asshole.
Renter's insurance, Mike?
Who is the devil renting hell from?
Jesus.
I don't know. It's got.
He's literally renting from God.
Yeah.
He's being forced to pay this ridiculous rent amount in
That's
utility
his-
bill. Could you imagine how much that fucking electric heat must be? Jesus Christ. Literally.
God damn it. God damn it. Fuck you, Dylan.
Electric heat. That's amazing.
Oh, shit.
I have my second sound.
So, okay,
as well.
so what was the name of that sound again?
It was the Siberian hell sound.
The Siberian hell
You can
sound.
look it up on YouTube, just like I did, or if you own like the DVD collection of Coast to Coast,
If you do,
fucking watch it. I don't
That's
fucking
not
know.
a thing, but let's go with it.
I do like how you guys weren't able. We weren't able to play it because of like time constraint and possible copyright issues. But
mostly
Art-
that second one, but
Art Bell rambles on like a geriatric fuck for like 2 solid minutes before the hell sound, and he's just like, "Well, I was given this audio from a listener named Mike."
so it was just
and-
like Mel's Hall.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, how are you running a radio show?
How are you employed?
Yeah, but
Early stages of dementia going on.
he does
in our
kind
bell.
of give off like this sincere, like, this is some spooky shit, but I'm pretty sure it was just some guy on like GarageBand editing shit.
Hey.
But still, it sounds fun.
So Dylan,
Yeah.
if you were to replace Art Bell as the host on Coast to Coast AM talking about this, how might you introduce the Siberian hell noise to some listeners?
Yeah, I would tell them that it kind of sounds like the Doom soundtrack and kind of what
Fuck yeah.
Agony wanted to be, you know?
Hell yeah. Okay.
It was super disturbing though.
Oh,
like
yeah.
personally, just because like my big thing is like I'll watch movies like horror movies and stuff like that, and like sometimes like just random scary shit on YouTube, you know, and it's all fine until I hear people screaming for some reason.
Really?
Like that's the part that really gets me, because that makes it real for me. Because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
if
man.
I was in that situation with a chainsaw in my stomach, I'd also be screaming bloody murder.
You know,
And
sorry to cut you off, but I
No, you're fine.
totally fucking get that.
right? Like I don't understand. So like hearing that, just listening to it, it literally all just sounded like thousands of screams,
Mhm.
like horribly like agonizing screams, and I've never heard like a wall of sound of just that before. I've heard it mixed in with like other things, but I've never heard just one solid wall of sound of that. So that genuinely like kind of freaked me out, especially with when you take into account the heat signatures like you guys were talking about earlier. You know, it would make sense hypothetically, from a hypothetical standpoint, it would make sense if that actually was hell, which, from what you guys are saying, would be under Russia.
Well, the thing that really fucks me up when I heard this sound for the first time was just thinking about, like, let's say I went to hell, which probably I am. But
if hell exists, you are absolutely going there.
yes, I mean, I am a Satanist, so there's that. But if I were in hell, just like the thing that freaked me out was just thinking about hearing that noise consistently,
For
24/7 for eternity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely like bang on. If I heard that all the time, like from above me, or so, I would definitely bang on the ceiling with a broomstick. Like, hey, fucking cut it out. I got
the ceiling to hell. Just fucking, hey, kids, get off my lawn.
Well, in this, I imagine Satan in this situation is like what's it called, the tenant or whatever, the guy that like goes around fixing and everything.
The landlord.
The landlord?
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the word. And he's
The
just
landlord of darkness?
yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. And,
Fucking landlord of darkness.
It's a new band name.
Seriously,
Dude,
hey.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm dad joke central over here, dude.
Please
You're gonna hear
keep
a lot
them
of that.
coming.
Again, if you have not listened to any of our content, you need to, because I feel like you and Mike might resonate just a little bit.
Hell yeah.
goes up to Hitler and just the rent check's due at the first of the month, and Hitler's like, oh, who do I make it out to? And he's like, make it out to me, Satan, ooga booga booga boo. I don't know, but
What is happening right now?
I'm trying to imagine a world where Hitler's writing a check for his shitty condominium in hell,
Sir,
and he's
have
got to
you not
go to the shitty bank and cash it for the devil or something. I'm just imagining him writing like a chase check.
Have you not
to
seen
Satan.
Little Nicky?
Oh, yeah.
Not in a long time.
Bro, that is exactly what Satan and Hitler
That
are doing in
scene
hell.
is pretty much in that movie.
Yeah.
Damn it, I thought I was creative. Turns out I'm a plagiarist.
No, pretty much, it's just Satan sticking a pineapple up Hitler's ass every day.
Well, that doesn't sound that bad.
That sounds comfortable.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, so
Sounds like a Tuesday.
yeah,
Yes.
It is
So-
Tuesday.
Speaking of,
I have
It is Tuesday, fuck.
Dylan. You know what time it is?
Dylan, I think
Oh boy, alright.
you might have just told all of our listeners what fruit you prefer in your anus on Tuesday night specifically, which means everyone that listens to your voice right now will no longer be thinking about how you sound. They will be thinking about
What's going into your butt?
how full
How
your
do you
colon
think
is.
I make those noises in the recording studio, bro?
I was wondering, man.
Is that the trick? Damn.
Yeah, dude. Anybody can do metal vocals. You just have to sit on a pineapple. On a Tuesday, specifically.
If you want to come show me your technique, I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. I'm a
Jason's-
hands-on teacher. If you're a hands-on learner, we'll be good.
Oh my fucking god.
So my second little noise isn't really mysterious or anywhere near as spooky.
Okay.
I just thought this was a really fun sound. Oh god, I gotta see if I can pronounce this accurately because I know I'll make fun of it if I don't.
If pronunciation is a factor with you, Mike, the chances of you succeeding are very low.
The binaural.
Binaural.
No, it's not binaural. It's not neural. It's
Binaural. It is.
BINAURAL.
No, that's binaural.
Yeah, so binaural.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's whatever you guys said. You're probably more right than I am. Anyway, it's called the binaural beat, and essentially what it is it's two frequencies that hit at the right like decibel.
Decibels, yeah.
And if you listen to it for long enough, it makes you in your head hear a third sound. And I listened to this one. I didn't really hear too much. I felt more than I heard. And apparently these sounds can cause like hallucinations after a while. It can cause audio hallucinations as well.
Did you listen to this whole video that you sent
No,
me?
it's like an hour long.
No, it's like 8
long.
hours.
No, I listened for about 5 minutes. And when I listened, I felt like a pressure like right above my eyes. And then I didn't hear much. I heard like what sounded like a low grumble kind of in my head.
How are you listening to it when you listen to it?
I had my AirPods in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
you
that's-
need like two. It's one of those things where you kind of need two different like you need two headphones in. You can't just really listen to it through like your phone speaker.
Here, I thought you were going to say that you listened to this while Lori was sitting on your face, and that would explain a lot.
It'd be cooler that way.
But if that was not the case, I don't.
Yeah,
I can't explain.
You
that.
don't get much of an effect by just hearing it out of like your phone speaker, but you do get more of an effect if you just listen to it through like
a podcast.
Yeah, AirPods or like through headphones where you get like the dual sound. So we're gonna play that sound as well.
Okay.
Dylan, are you ready to be blown away?
Are you ready to be
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
Absolutely.
blown? Almost always.
Man, pineapples and BJ's. What a night.
Well, that's pretty fucking trippy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan's thoughts, comments, questions?
No, it was like really trippy. I don't know, because I've listened to videos like that when I'm trying to sleep before.
Yeah, no,
It's not exactly like binaural beats or anything like that, but I've done a lot of research about those before in the past, and it's actually incredibly interesting. It's nuts.
Fuck, really? Like, what do you know about it?
Hell us.
Because
So-
I'm
so there's
blind.
like a whole library, like a whole like thousands upon thousands of different. I think it's been a while, but there's like different binaural beats for different things. So the one that you played was for like lucid dreaming. So you're supposed to like close your eyes and just kind of lose yourself in the sound and let it kind of happen. There's others that are like used for like if you wanted to get high without using drugs or anything like that. There are binaural beats specifically programmed at certain decibel levels to make your brain feel like you're under the influence of something like marijuana. There's bunch of
I've definitely heard of that. I've never actually stumbled across that, but that's super interesting that I now know that they're binaural beats.
Yeah, it's crazy just because it kind of confuses your brain, you know, with the two different tones. Especially like the harmonies and everything, especially when they added like I want to say like a minute in, they added that like high pitch sound that was there.
Yeah.
That was like, it rounds it out. It really just like,
And I
I
guess
don't know, I love this stuff.
I guess that makes sense too, because like I said before, I listened to it for like 5 minutes. I didn't really get a hallucination out of it. I like heard something, and I felt like it was like a pressure here, but it wasn't like a
When he
hurting
says here,
pressure.
he's pointing to his
Sorry,
forehead.
yeah, sorry. This is an audio show.
I kind of assumed.
Yeah,
On this audio medium,
I
it
felt like
it felt bad right
Yeah,
here.
I felt a pressure like above my like brow and everything, but it wasn't like a pain pressure. It was kind of like just like what's the equivalent of like poking a Ziploc bag full of water with a pin and you just see the water dripping out? That kind of like fluid feeling of you know
like
what
that
I mean?
overflowing kind of feeling. A little bit.
It's like a release. It kind of felt more of like a release.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so like when you're popping a zit or some shit.
Kind of, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I guess that would explain it because that is like the sleepy one to where I felt more relaxed than anything.
Dude, I popped the biggest fucking zit. Not my zit. Somebody else's zit. Holy
Ew.
shit. It was like the size of a silver dollar.
That's fucking
Dylan,
gross.
if you didn't know, Jason
yeah.
is a surgical tech.
Yeah. So
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, so I'm part of a orthopedic and general surgery team at Rush Copley, and we on nights we
Pop
see
the zit.
some fucked up things.
That's crazy, dude.
He had a
Those
man
things are
poop on his
nuts.
shoe.
Not in, or no, yes in, not on, in my shoes, filled my shoes to the brim with poop.
Oh, God.
It's not the
I'm so
cleanest
glad I'm into like property management and real estate.
Hey, I
Oh
can't
my
blame you,
God.
man. I happen to love the shit, but I
In
come out
your
with some-
shoes? Or like the
See?
actual
I saw the door opening in front of me, and I still fucking opened it. No, I hate the shit in the shoes, but like everything else, seeing the inside of the body, like it's super fucking cool. But with the good comes the gross. And
Oh yeah, of course.
Getting
That's
my
how it is with
shoes-
everything, dude. So that's cool though. Like popping a pimple that big, that'd be sick.
It was
Yeah.
fucking huge.
Sounds gross.
It's the biggest pimple I've ever seen.
You people disgust me.
The fact that they needed surgery to pop a pimple was it blew my fucking mind.
Don't you normally go to like an orthopedist or
Dr.
whatever?
Pimple
No,
Popper. He has a show.
You go to a fucking dermatologist. for
Dermatologist.
that.
I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of total joints as an orthopedic surgeon.
Or the penis.
I
Sure.
Not to be too off topic from this gross topic, but yeah.
Did we tangent again?
Yeah, a little bit. So I highly suggest people looking up more binaural
Yes.
uh,
I'm falling asleep to that
sounds
tonight to
because
see if I hallucinate in my sleep.
it's very interesting. Like Dillon said, there's like a sound for like everything. Like you said, if you want to experience getting high without smoking the doob, smoking a J, as the kids say these days.
You're doing amazing, Sweaty.
Thank you. That's definitely one way to experience it, and they have a sound for just about everything, like Dillon said. So I highly recommend it. That was the sleepy time one, I guess. So listen to this podcast when you're trying to fall asleep. Bet you can't. Blah, 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 blah. Did I wake you up? I hope so.
All right, Jason. Well, what do you got for us?
Since we don't have a smooth transition, I am going over one of the most famous mysterious sounds known to man, which recently has been solved.
Is it the sound my tummy makes when I'm hungry?
No.
Is it the sound your tummy makes when you're hungry?
Nope. It is aptly named as the bloop. Just called the bloop. Yep. Dylan, have you ever heard of the bloop?
I think I got introduced to it slightly. It was like that really... I'll let you explain it, but I think I know what it is.
No, yeah, okay, so you're familiar with what it is.
I think so, yeah.
So, just to give it a little bit of a backstory on where this sound comes from, oceanographers basically put some microphones, some
Hydrophilic.
water microphones. They're about 3,200 kilometers apart, so it's a fucking long way. And both mics picked up this very, very creepy sound coming from the deepest parts of the ocean. And this is what it sounded like. So, that was the bloop. So the first time you heard it, it's at regular speed.
Bloop.
The second time is at 16...
Bloop.
Yep. 16 times speed. Which, if you listen, the 16 times speed sounds way more normal than...
The 16 times speed sounds like a bloop.
Yep.
Like when you listen to it, it's like...
But that's kind of the terrifying thing, right? Like, that's a massive object.
Didn't they find, like, wasn't the microphones and everything that they caught the audio in a certain area that you guys liked a lot?
So it was near, like, the Arctic Circle, but the microphones they used were 3,200 kilometers away.
Do you know where? I'm surprised you two don't know this.
I have it on my phone.
It is apparently coming from the same area where Cthulhu's resting place is supposed to be.
See, I thought you were looking for the actual
I
explanation.
don't need the goddamn latitude, longitude. What am I, a fucking nautical man? We covered that last episode.
So
Maybe.
if you are one of... So me and Jason are
Yeah.
very big into Lovecraft, as you all know.
Dylan, how much do you know about the Cthulhu mythos?
I don't know too much about it in great detail.
Okay.
I'm very, like, fascinated by it, obviously the whole Lovecraftian thing, but I don't know too much about it on a deeper level other than, like, Cthulhu exists. to be
Okay, so
completely honest.
if you were to put Cthulhu as like a pin on the map of where he's sleeping, where'd you put him?
I'd probably say, like, Marianas Trench or something.
See,
That's a good answer,
It's
actually.
a very fucking good answer.
Turns out it's Nebraska.
he's just sitting in a farmhouse, you know,
Yeah, he's just having a good time
harvesting his
yeah.
wheat. No, so these microphones, they're 3,200 kilometers apart near the Arctic Circle, and this is one of the two locations that the people who know about Cthulhu have pinpointed as Cthulhu's domain. So one being the Marianas Trench, and two being this location, hence this sound.
So you were right, Dylan. Give yourself a pat on the back. And
Cool.
Press the button.
audience,
Oh, yeah.
applaud for Dylan. I'm gonna hit the audience
You
button.
gotta turn it on, man.
Boop. Listen to them cheer.
Perfect.
We're gonna edit it in post. Here we go.
It's a real audience.
Quiet, audience. Quiet.
Or I'll fucking kill you people again.
They were totally there.
Again is the key word.
Again.
I'm pretty sure they're their own SCP at this point.
If they aren't, they're fucking not
They're
working
gonna
hard.
be the live audience that never dies.
So yeah, the bloop, super spoopy scary. I love
Yes.
it.
So that is one of the world's most mysterious pieces of audio. But as of, I think it was either this year or late last year, the consensus across the scientific community is that that sound is a very large piece of ice from a glacier dragging along the ocean floor. Now, has anyone here ever heard of a piece of ice being, I don't know, 16 miles long?
So, I'm not gonna lie, when I was doing research on what noises I wanted to do, there were so many explained by icebergs dragging across the ground.
That no one has seen. Like, it's
And
just,
it's like, what make...
and they all sound different. Like,
They all-
you
yeah.
You have the upsweep, you've got the fucking bloop.
You have
and
the
you've got
down sweep.
The down, yes, and they're all like iceberg.
Yeah. Like,
Iceberg.
there's so many.
So to get an outside
Yeah.
opinion, Dillon, I want you to give us your expertise and give us a concrete explanation of what that sound is.
Yeah, I got it. Take my word as law. Everybody who's
Hell
listening
yeah.
to this.
The
I'm
gospel
totally
has
kidding.
been written.
No.
What's up?
But sound is a really, really weird thing because it's a completely separate science entirely. The first time I went to college, I went for music production and music business. Now, I'm going to emphasize the first time I went because I obviously didn't do well. But the crazy part about sound and everything is it's just one giant circular wave that gets bigger and bigger. When we speak in where we are and everything like that, basically above the water and stuff like that, there isn't a very thick area for this sound wave to keep going. But when you're super deep at the bottom of the fucking ocean, water's dense and everything like that. So it could have easily been that iceberg, and it could have easily spread out to the point where it hit a lower register and hit lower octaves and everything.
Yeah.
But I honestly, that doesn't sound. I listened to the 16 times, which the bloop does kind of sound like I'm dropping a rock into a pond. I know that all of you guys did that as kids.
Oh,
you
yeah.
threw rocks into water. If
all-
you threw a big rock into a water, it kind of sounded like that.
Yeah, we're all familiar with the sound of a rock entering the water.
and the
Yeah, I
rock.
feel like everybody is.
Mike here is very, very familiar with The Rock entering the water because his YouTube history is telling.
And I bathe him.
Are you a sponge bath nurse?
Yeah.
Wow. He definitely doesn't need that, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's got to be something more than that. I feel like the iceberg's kind of a cop out. I don't know if I'm just being kind of hoping for something different, but it's you're gonna tell other people that they're crazy for thinking it's some monster that they've never seen, and then be like it's an iceberg that you've never seen at the bottom of the ocean. I don't understand the logic there.
Here's the thing.
They're fighting fuck you with fuck you.
Yeah, here's the thing. You say, Jason, you said before, I've never heard of an iceberg that big. We have a James Cameron film I'd like you to watch called The Titanic that ripped apart a boat called
did it touch
the Titanic.
Did it touch the bottom of the ocean?
No, but
Oh.
it touched a big boat.
See, I'm more interested in that part about how it's dragging along the ocean
Oh,
floor,
because it sank.
causing
It's-
that sound.
Because it sank. It's heavy, so it sank down.
And it can be heard
Yeah.
3,200 kilometers away.
Sure.
Well, it kind of, like I said, the sound waves can kind of expand. I'm not a scientist with this science of sound or anything, so I don't know the exact specifics of it. But there is a high possibility that the sound just kind of carried through the water
I mean,
from
water
the bottom
is
all the way to the top.
water is a fantastic sound conductor, so I can see that.
It is. It is. So that could be a very good possibility. Plus, if you think about all of the glaciers that you have in the Antarctic or in Alaska, those things are miles long.
They're
They're
fucking
their own
huge,
little
yeah.
islands of
Not
just
so
straight
much
ice.
anymore.
No, they're shrinking. But no,
Thanks, Obama.
So-
Damn it, you beat me to it.
So no. But seriously, 3,200 kilometers. That's a fuckload of distance. To
How
hear
many
this
miles
thing.
That
is
is-
that?
Times 3.
Okay.
3,200 kilometers is about, 9 miles, I think?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I could open my phone,
But we won't.
it would take 5 seconds.
Y'all
So
don't need to know
instead-
math.
Instead, let's do this. Let's go on to your second sound.
Fair enough. So, the second sound that I have for you guys is something called the Havana Syndrome.
Out here in Havana, Georgia.
So most of the time,
Just gonna
what?
blow past it. Savannah. It's Savannah, Georgia, but
God damn it, Mike.
I
Is
do
it an
believe
office
I,
fucking reference that you're
yes,
doing right
I
now?
do believe I got the vapors.
So, Havana Syndrome, normally you don't associate sounds and syndromes together. Syndromes are mostly like things that have happened to you that have caused a condition in you. This is more along the lines of you heard a thing and now you're fucked. Now you have brain damage, honestly. So, the Havana Syndrome was a mysterious outbreak of brain damage.
Dysentery? Oh, okay.
I mean, sure. No, it was an outbreak of brain damage at the I think it was the Cuban
Emissary?
embassy.
Embassy.
Yes.
An outbreak of brain damage?
You heard me. It's an outbreak of brain damage. So this,
I've heard of
I don't
another
even- I don't
time
even
when
know how to
people
fucking-
have had an outbreak of brain damage, and that was listening to Trump talk. Zing.
Dang, first Obama, now Trump. Welcome to Don't Look Under the Politics.
We don't like anyone.
no, we fucking don't. But no, so it's okay. I'm gonna start with the conclusion, and I'll work backwards because I feel like it makes more sense.
That's how
Now-
stories work.
No, well, no, you
No,
usually-
it's not.
You usually start with the beginning and then go forward. No, you need to hear the end of this. So the end of this is the U.S. determining that a sonic attack had happened on U.S. diplomats in Cuba. There are several instances of this happening, and every single time you guys are gonna yell at me in about 4 seconds right here. You ready? Mm-hmm. Every single time. The Russians are the
There it is.
ones. Yeah, I fucking told you. The Russians are the ones that are like at the center point of all of this.
Of course.
Everyone thinks it's the Russians doing this. But so basically what happened was these diplomats started hearing this sound. It was a super high-pitched sound, and they got uncomfortable. They got pain in their head, and eventually maybe some memory loss and some dementia and some other very severe symptoms. No one can pinpoint it. None. The only thing we know is that every single time this has happened across the world, which has happened in multiple locations, Russia has been involved.
It's
in
always
some way.
fucking Russia.
I know.
Can't
I
they
know.
just fucking have their little stacky dolls, their vodka, and their bears,
Their
and be
matryoshkas?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry,
So
matryoshkas.
we have Russian listeners, and if
We
if
do.
you're from Russia,
I get texts in Cyrillic almost weekly.
yeah, can one of you just defend yourselves?
Help.
Tell us why the things that we talk about are so prevalent in
Yeah.
your great mother Russia.
Yeah.
Just explain.
Like, we love the matryoshka, we love the doll maker stories and all that, and the fucking flesh that hates. We love the SCPs, we love the fucking mother horse eyes, we love the fucking sleep experiment. Tell us what the fuck is wrong with your country.
What is going on?
What's happening?
What's in the water there?
So to give everybody here an
Borscht.
idea, no,
Borscht.
the water just is borscht. To give everybody an idea of what we're dealing with, we're gonna go ahead and play a sound sample. Now, I need to preface this because this sound was heard as an aftermath of a sonic attack on U.S. and other countries' diplomats. I literally have to make this disclaimer.
Are we breaking laws right now?
No. Well, if we do it right now, yes. Give me a sec. We hold no responsibility for what happens to your brain, your ears, or any part of your person for listening to this audio. Okay?
Haha, take that, lawyers.
If you choose to listen after this point, you are taking on all liability within your rights of your hearing, of your sanity, of anything that you could possibly be affected by listening to this sound.
If you're spooked out by that, you could just skip ahead like 30 seconds and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
If-
Exactly 30 seconds.
If you agree, you will keep listening, and we'll give you 5 seconds to comply.
10, 9.
Just plays it at 5.
Just plays it anyway.
All right, here we go.
So here is the Havana Syndrome culprit, the sound that gave a bunch of diplomats brain damage.
R.I.P. in peace, brain.
So I apologize deeply for the amount of pain that just caused everybody, but...
How you doing, Dylan? Are your ears still on?
Yeah, they're good.
What?
Now.
No, that was the sound that I would say that these diplomats heard, but they didn't hear it because that's an amplified version. So the Havana Syndrome is notoriously known to be either sub or supersonic, which means human ears cannot fucking hear it. All it does is it influences you in a certain way and apparently causes a fuckload of brain damage.
Well, if something hits me going supersonic speeds, it would do that to me too. That's Sonic the Hedgehog hitting you in the ears. I can't afford that.
His name is Ogilvy. Who is that?
That's my mom, sorry.
Mama Doug?
Yeah, she needs things. Don't worry about it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's funny that you say that, though. Like, so that sound is kind of similar to the sounds that I'm going to be talking about, actually. A lot of what I'm going to be talking about is sounds that are either based on background noise or something that, like, you never thought you'd hear, like, or can't hear, technically, if that makes sense.
Like Kid Rock doing
The
an
fact that
opera.
I know the context of those clues is fucking fantastic.
So, like...
So fuck it, let's dump into it, Doug.
All right,
what are we doing?
so the first noise that I'm going to be talking about is called the wow signal. And the wow signal was actually...
Is it just 30 minutes of Owen Wilson going, wow?
I wish, but it's really not. This is an extraterrestrial contact noise. And I love this because we haven't gotten a good chance to talk about aliens on the show yet. And
somehow
it's one of my favorite things ever. I just love anything that has to do with UFOs.
Same.
So basically, the wow signal was found on August 15th, 1977 by SETI. SETI is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Now, this is a NASA-backed organization.
Now they're the ones that sent out that capsule, right? Of basically an intergalactic tweet.
It's 100,000 tweets is what they sent out.
Wait, are you talking about that one or the one that Carl Sagan helped?
No,
Carl
that's
Sagan is
different.
actually a part of this.
Okay.
Because this was, so long story short, SETI, they built this thing called the Big Ear. And what it is, it's two giant horned radio dishes that basically look into the sky and look for anomalies in radio frequencies. So astronomer Jerry R. Eman discovered this noise, and when he found it, basically imagine a giant dot matrix printer just all day printing out lines of code onto paper, and you have to go in not paid and sit there and look through pages of dot matrix printouts being like, oh, there's this weird anomaly now written on this page.
I'm out.
Is the dot matrix printer like the old printer? It's like
Yes. Yeah, it prints pictures in literal dot formation.
Yeah,
like a Scantron.
Yes,
much,
yeah. Think
So-
Scantron tests for old ass printers.
so basically what happened was he found this anomaly on the page, and when he found it, he literally circled it and wrote wow next to it, and that's where we got the name for it. So this noise lasted all of 72 seconds and has never been heard again since. If it were to be heard again, it would be probably one of the most pretentious finds ever, because it would literally guarantee the fact that there is other life in the planet or in the universe
Not even
other than us.
Not even just life, like sentient, intelligent, meaningful
Do
life.
you mean
Yes.
important? Pretentious is like I found a guy on a yacht whose daddy's a lawyer and he'll sue if I punch him.
I think he might mean important.
Important, pretentious, your mom, what up, fucking Janine.
Great. Yeah, talk more about my mother. Love that.
So, real quick, just to kind of preface what he saw on this page, it said 6EQUJ5. Now, that may not mean shit to you guys, It really doesn't sound like anything, but
Right.
you have to understand that the way
It
that
says eat your Ovaltine.
Yes.
Or drink your Ovaltine.
basically what these numbers equate to are frequency levels going up. Now, when you're looking at this, when the big ear picks up noises, it doesn't ever go, it really never goes into letters. It just goes into numbers. But once you get into letters, that means the frequency is X amount of times louder than what background noise is.
Okay.
So,
I got you.
So when we think about background noise, we think of that ringing in your ears, basically.
My mild tinnitus.
What the trees are making, grass, wind, are like the
Our
AC
fucking
in the
loud ass
background.
AC, yeah.
So when you think of something being 30 times louder than what we consider the Big Bang to be as background noise, that's when you know that you're actually getting something else, something different. And now there's lots of theories on this noise, which I'll play for you in a moment here, that, contradict all these different things with satellites spinning around with, it goes into such deep, mathematical equations that I'm not going to get into it on this. It's too much for...
Didn't they when they deciphered the printout and everything, wasn't it a string of numbers that I vaguely remember looking into this, and it was a string of numbers or something that was
Are you talking about 6EQUJ5?
No, yeah, but it was something like you said before. They don't decipher into letters; it deciphers into numbers.
Yep.
It was something that deciphered into a reoccurring number, it kept happening or something.
No,
or it was
because they actually they have these two. So the big ear has two horns that are looking into the sky. Now they are 3 minutes apart. So when one hits a certain spot in the sky, so they found this noise in the constellation of Sagittarius. Okay, so when one ear,
and there's no stars or planets over there, is there?
well, it's a constellation, so there are stars.
Shit, I don't know shit about space.
And probably planets.
So what happened is one horn picked up the noise, but they don't know which horn it was. But there was a 3-minute gap between them where the noise didn't happen on both horns. So they can guarantee that noise happened in that span where we just hit it.
That's how they determine where it comes from.
So,
They
long
measure
story
the
short,
speed of the sound, and it's a bunch of math. I'm all for math, as you guys fucking know. Not today, Satan.
so if we looked globally at astronomers looking into the sky looking for radio signals, the whole world has agreed that this certain frequency that we heard this on is a no radio broadcast frequency. So no one around the world will broadcast to that frequency because we have globally, as a world,
Agreed.
determined that if aliens were to contact us, this is the frequency they would do it at.
And then they did.
This is a global thing that people agreed upon.
Holy shit.
How you feeling, Dylan?
I've literally just been listening intently this entire time because space is dope. I love
space
space
is
so much.
dope.
It's one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
So, real
like
quick.
space in the ocean.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
So much unexplored space, so much
Okay.
unexplored ocean.
Dylan, you have to come back on the show. You have no
Love
choice.
to.
You have-
Honestly, I'm having a great fucking time. This is
Oh, okay.
thought-provoking shit that I like to listen to.
Well-
This, and talk about too. So it's nice.
This is literally what we do every fucking Tuesday night. So if you'd like to be a part of it, fucking just hit us up.
Hell yeah, dude, I'm down. But yeah, it's just the reason I've been so quiet is just because I've been listening to this, but I'm more so baffled by the fact that the entire world agreed on something for once.
Seriously.
That is the
Right, but
baffling point.
it's yeah, and it's kind of not to get all sappy and shit, but it's actually really cool and kind of beautiful that everybody was oh, other things might be out there. We want to talk to them. Let's all just chill for a minute.
Dude,
That's really cool to me. That's why I was audibly was holy shit.
Dude, I totally fucking get you there because I am on the same exact wavelength as that. The fact that we are possibly starting communications with other intelligent life around the galaxy, that just, my fucking hair's on end.
And the crazy thing is that if we got this transmission from space, from where would you say it was, the what?
It was Sagittarius.
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 Yeah.
That's not exactly close to Earth. That's outside of the Andromeda.
That's several.
No, it's
correct?
very, very far away.
So and I know radio waves, they dissipate after a while, so it's not a radio wave. They dissipate after a while, and it takes many years to come back. So we're talking about a potential advanced alien civilization that sent a message out, probably fucking eons ago.
Yeah, think about that. So light years away, right?
Yeah.
Light years, meaning
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how long it takes for light to travel. Sound is completely fucking different.
This could have been.
Yeah.
Who knows how many?
This could have been 1.5 million years ago.
Exactly.
We don't fucking know.
Well, are you guys ready to hear?
Some
this?
asshole's driving around in his fucking space taxi, sending out fucking signals to a caveman going unga bunga, trying to make fire in the wheel.
It's
Bro.
space. It's space Robert De Niro.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw the funniest comment on one of the YouTube videos when I was researching this. He was like, "Yeah, this is probably just an alien being like, yeah, I want a number 9, no cheese."
Dude, for real. It's just a space trucker.
It's an,
Oh my god!
it's an alien fucking like Kendall Jenner, and it's just like a fucking Instagram video for like fucking Maybelline or some
You just
shit.
cipher it. It's some
Literally
1980.
just a tweet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right, guys, are you ready to hear the wow signal?
Yes. Fucking let's do it. Everyone ready? Dylan, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's fucking do it.
So, what I want to reiterate mostly on this noise.
You're gonna have to speak up, Doug. My ears are bleeding.
What?
Yeah, seriously. This noise, to put in perspective, if you were to just hear the, classic ringing in your ears, is what we call background noise. We attribute that to trees, grass, air, the wind, etc.
Just ambient things.
This noise was picked up in space in the Sagittarius constellation, and it was 30 times louder than background noise, which is extremely hard to do in space if you know
Yes.
the classic
It's a
no one can
vacuum.
hear you scream.
Right. Sound
Right.
doesn't travel.
It does not. So the fact that we were able to pick this up, and just to put it in perspective, the big ear that they're using is the length of almost 3 football fields.
Yeah, it's a massive.
It's
Is that just one ear, or is that both of them?
I'm gonna disregard
Asshole.
your question. But yeah, so that's all we know about the wow signal. It's extremely incredible. If we were to hear it again, it could be one of the best, discoveries of our time.
What do you mean hear it again?
People have been looking for this noise in that same spot since since it happened.
So they heard it, and now in the same spot they heard it from. Nothing.
Never heard it again.
Now
That's fucked up.
I did look slightly into this. I think I mentioned before. I heard one small theory that makes sense for some space sounds, but it doesn't really work too well with this one. One theory that could have
Let's
been...
hear it.
Yeah, well,
Great setup, Mike.
Some people are like, "Ooh, well, the wow theory is just this." I guess like all planets just kind of make a fucking noise.
Oh yeah, everything in the universe makes a noise.
Yeah, like we have recordings of noises from like Saturn and Jupiter that do sound vaguely similar to this.
The
But
only let me reiterate this. The only reason they're vaguely similar is because there's a thing when they're listening for noises in space where the frequency basically goes up, 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 and then down, 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 down with the frequency.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for with anomalies in like space
Well,
radio waves.
that's what I mean too. And those ones, because they're coming from a planet, it's kind of not repetitive, but you get the same type of sounds because it's not like a planet's going to make new sounds. This one's got a whole bunch of sounds. Another theory I heard for this was that it is an alien language,
Correct.
which is
No,
kind of
yeah.
fucking fun.
That's the one.
Can you imagine a bunch of lizard people just... and this is
No,
what we
it's-
fucking hear?
This is the equivalent of ASL.
Yeah. I was gonna ask this later, but Dylan, aliens, real or yes?
Oh God, yeah. God,
Hell
yes.
yeah.
Dope.
Okay,
God,
better
yes.
question though. Why?
If you want me to explain my thinking, I will.
If you can, I'm sure there's a massive thought process behind it. If you could break it down in like 2 sentences, fucking
Yeah.
perfect.
I got you. Space, big, 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 big. Earth, small, 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 small. That's the one sentence. The other sentence is to think that we're the only things that are living and intelligent
Is
in this
arrogant as
vast,
fuck.
eternal universe of space and planets. That's just arrogant.
Thank
There's
you.
no way.
That's
There's no way in hell that we're the only ones here.
That is the exact line that I tell anyone who doubts the fact that aliens exist.
So if you believe aliens exist, can I ask you, what do you think they look like?
Honestly, I had this theory with my buddy one time. It kind of like when we were obviously like it was like 3 a.m. We were just like dead tired, a little bit drunk, but like I had this theory of like if Christianity existed, right?
Mhm.
God created the world in 7 days our time, right?
Okay.
And we've been around for millions and millions of years. Imagine how many planets and universes that God could have created before us and after us.
Yep.
You know, so like what if these UFOs are like basically us,
Remnants.
like as a beta test in a UFO like that are millions and millions and millions of years ahead of us, you know?
Yeah.
Like
That
so I
fucking-
think like that's my whole thing. I don't think they look like the stereotypical big-eyed gray skin
You don't
things,
believe
you
in
know,
the grays and the tall whites?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I really like once I see one, I'll let you know.
That's super fair because I feel the
Yeah,
same way. Like
Yep.
I know about the different types of aliens, but
There's
like,
like
until
14
I
different
see
species.
one,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Also,
Yeah.
if none of them resemble a fucking xenomorph, I'm gonna be very upset. What is the universe
Honestly,
doing?
same.
Well, I mean, there are like mantis people, so that could be.
That's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. So that's
Alright.
that's
That's the wow
That's the
signal.
wow.
That is the wow signal.
Wow.
God, space is so cool.
I have one last noise that honestly I think most people have heard of or maybe are just semi familiar with. If you watch
Okay.
South Park. If you've
What?
seen South Park ever, you might know about this
Wait.
noise.
You know,
What?
it's funny that you bring that up because I believe it. What is his name? Troy Parker.
Trey.
Trey.
Trey Parker.
Trey Parker.
He did a lot of research for one of his episodes of South Park with like Neil deGrasse Tyson and other people like at NASA because of this sound that Doug is about to play. So they did their fucking research on how to adapt this into a comedy, which is fucking incredible.
Yes, and it's
Dylan, do you know what sound we're talking about right now?
I feel like I might. I've seen like pretty much every single episode of South Park. I just don't, off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
so Dylan, are you familiar with the brown note?
Oh. Yes, very much so.
So
Very much so.
I'm gonna talk about the brown note for a little bit here.
Hey Dylan, when was the last time you shat?
Oh,
This
okay.
morning,
Oh, buddy. I would
I have
either
IBS.
put on a diaper or go sit in the toilet for a bit because I think
You don't gotta tell me, my guy. I poop like 4-5 times a day. It's bananas.
That's healthy actually, but
God
besides
knows.
the point. So the brown note, as we know it, it's a frequency that is so low that humans lose control of their bowels due to the resonance. So science has deemed this in many failed attempts as not possible.
I believe
But-
the Mythbusters even did an
They
episode
did.
on it.
They did do an episode on it. But people have still been looking and looking and looking for this quote unquote brown note to this day. So the brown note is also associated with evil intentions, such as curses, spells, etc.
Montezuma's
Wait,
Revenge.
is that the whole like if you curse someone it comes back on you 3 times?
So the way that
It's
they
just a
explain
poopy.
the brown note
Right.
isn't exactly like it doesn't just have to do with shitting yourself. Like as funny as that is, and as much as I want to like have people do that, it has a lot of other like different uses.
Here at Don't Look Under the Internet Industries, we pride ourselves on maturity and being grown up enough to know when a topic is worth talking about and when it isn't.
So
We have unanimously decided that this is absolutely fucking worth talking
Don't
about.
look under the internet industries. Are we inventing like a hovercraft?
Are
we already did.
Dylan, do you have our Diluti branded hovercraft.
I'm in. I will invest. And for that reason, I'm offering you $3 million for 10% of your capital.
Man, I was just watching Shark Tank the other day. Oh my god.
Thank you. What's his name? Mr. Whatever?
Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. Of course.
Okay, so getting back on topic here, the brown note, as we know it, could also have a lot of other uses, not just pooping yourself, which is hilarious.
That's a big one, though, right?
It is what most people assume the brown note is.
Not only can you shid, but it can make you pee.
You shitted and farted yourself.
Shifted, formed it.
God.
So, a lot of the times we see what people call as black speech for inherently evil languages, which could also be very, very closely connected to the brown note. So basically what this is inherently evil languages which may overlap with this for people who maybe aren't evil enough, potentially. Basically what happens is it's a trigger or phrase, which is what technically the brown note is, that creates thought, like an action through psychological conditioning.
Okay.
So you hear something and it makes something happen
like
subconsciously.
Classical conditioning.
Correct. So
Okay.
a brown note being,
Wait, what?
yes, you heard me. A brown note being
You lost me in 3 words.
is an entity that causes this by something of its very nature.
So the brown note is like a god.
No. Well, yeah, actually. So
It's
you
the
have...
Cthulhu of poop.
It literally is. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Really?
A common trait of eldritch abominations is due to how mind-breakingly alien they are. So it's something you see or hear that basically
Wait.
causes
Wait.
subconsciously.
Wait.
Cthulhu.
Wait.
Cthulhu.
Are you telling me? Are you fucking telling me that the brown note is Lovecraftian?
Yes. It absolutely
What the
is. Because when you
Oh,
see...
You're breaking Dillon. Do you hear this?
I'm so happy that I am,
I don't
actually.
even know that much about Lovecraftian shit. I'm just over here like, every time somebody asks me about it, I'm just gonna be like the brown note.
Well,
Please
apparently. Well, yeah, when you talk Lovecraftian shit, you're talking the brown note.
God,
I guess that's how it
Talking
works.
literal Lovecraftian shit.
Yeah.
Literal.
Dude,
Now, also,
Racist poop.
I guess maybe a little J.R.R. Tolkien, because black speech is something in
Yes,
the Tolkien universe as well.
and
And that's
it-
the language of Mordor.
I'm not going to lie. When I was doing research on the brown note, I was like,
Which is
this
a
could be a
sentence-
whole fucking episode on its own.
See, that sentence is music to my fucking ears. That whole sentence.
I literally spent like 2 hours researching the brown note.
That's too
Like,
many.
That's incredible.
I got lost in the different things, and like I'm
lost
putting
in
this
the
in a
note.
nutshell for you guys, basically.
I didn't even spend 2 hours studying for my surgical tech exam. If that gives you an idea of
You know more about the brown note than Jason does about cutting
The human
open
body.
people. Yeah.
So, long story short, the brown note can be considered anything you see or hear that subconsciously makes your body do things that you can't control it to do.
So it's
that,
not-
in a nutshell.
So it's not confined to just pooping.
It's not confined to just pooping.
It's like
You could
jizzing, pissing.
jizzing, pissing, farting,
Right.
shitting,
And
whatever
that's
you.
where like the whole curse thing kind of comes from. Then I'm
Yeah.
guessing because like have no control over what it is.
So
exactly.
is,
Holy shit.
is
Okay.
Montezuma's Revenge?
No, that is a different kind of thing. But some of the references that you would see the brown note being used in is South Park and actually the SCP Foundation.
That
I didn't know there was a
no, I
brown
did.
note SCP.
I
Yeah.
did.
I will not go into it because we have our own SCP corner that we do an episode on that we're going to be working on getting out to you people.
sounds-
You
sound
fine people.
It's hey Doug, it's a containment corner.
Whatever, dude. I don't even give a fuck. Fuck
You
your stupid shit.
fucking idiot!
Hey,
Both of you are stupid.
whoa!
You learn what I'm talking about, dog.
Okay, so real quick, everyone. This is where shit's about to get
Dylan,
weird.
I'm so sorry you had to hear that side of me. It won't happen
It's
again.
okay, baby.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you, Dill.
Okay, so in my weird research that I was doing, I did get onto the dark web because I was a little curious.
Great.
Ooh.
The FBI's on their way over here right now.
Little onion browsing.
What?
I'm not gonna say anything, but
No, hang on.
No. Shut your mouth.
Onion browsing.
.tor. Never mind.
Yeah, it's beyond you.
I guess.
So
You will visit the dark web, and you will then understand what I am talking about.
we will be buying a dark web mystery box at some point
Have a hand
and
in it.
opening it on stream. But that's for a later time.
Technically,
Patreons.
we're only like $100 and some odd away.
Shh.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so I was on the dark web and I was looking for brown noises. Brown noses. I was looking for brown noises, and I think I actually found one. Because I had to turn off the song or the music or whatever I was hearing, because I literally thought I was going to shit myself.
Should I wear a diaper?
No.
right now?
Should we put down the brand new Diluti branded tarp that we just bought?
Diluti branded Shark tarp.
Yes, it's
Hey,
a
kid.
shark tarp.
You ever think you're gonna shit yourself? Throw down this.
Hey.
You ever think you're gonna shit yourself or murder someone? Put down the Diluti brand top.
If you're worried about shitting yourself or on other people, buy the Diluti branded shark tarp.
It's kind of like Chipotle, but for the brown noise.
Pull away.
Okay, so we're gonna play this
we really?
sound that I found, and if you were in fear of shitting yourself,
Run to the bathroom real quick. We'll give you like 5 seconds.
yeah, go to the bathroom and then listen.
All right, everybody, we're all going to give you about 10 seconds. You're going to go to the bathroom and listen to this noise while on the toilet.
All right, 10 seconds.
Starting right now.
Ready? 5,
10,
4,
20,
7, 1.
14.
Go.
All right, let's go.
Cool.
What is it? You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Did you expect that?
I should have. I really should have. But honestly, like, the way that we've been listening to all these different sounds going up to this point, I honestly thought I was going to hear the brown note. I was fully prepared to shit my pants.
All right.
And I hope it shows up in the recording, because I just hear the starting of the Rick Astley, and I just hear Dillon go, "Fuck you guys."
No, I'm pretty sure that shows up, and I'm so happy it does.
I literally, like, audibly turned, like, I have this headset, I can flip my mic up to mute it. I literally dropped it down. I was like, "You motherfuckers."
Guys, that's the brown note, because you'll be shitting yourself over how much love you have for Rick Astley.
Yeah, there's no
And
such
we're no
thing as
strangers to it.
the fucking brown note. It's not possible. Scientists have been trying for so long to get an audible response from whatever frequency they can find to make us do things subconsciously, and it's not possible at this
Sonic
level.
auto shitting.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear the closest thing to the brown note, listen to the band Meshuggah.
Oh my, yes. Yep. If you listen to Bleed for long enough, you will fucking shit your pants.
Yeah, not just because of the lowness of the tone, that's part of it, but also because that song is fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, yes.
Makes you shit yourself in
You and I
pride.
could spend the next 45 minutes just talking about amazing metal songs, but I feel like that
Oh,
might
hell
be
yeah.
another podcast.
Yeah, right.
That would be cool.
I would be down with that.
That will conclude,
Yep.
though, our bit on mysterious sounds.
I will say this is. Let's make this like a part 1 type thing. Like we
We
might
might
do some
continue
more
forward. Yeah,
weird
there's a lot of
sounds.
weird shit.
There
out
are
there.
a lot of other sounds that I wish I could have done, but
I did have one that I super wanted to do, but there was literally nothing else on it. I think it's called like the Horn of the Angels or something.
Oh yeah,
And you
the
hear
hum. No.
we were. This happened back in like 2012, 2011 or something. We were alive for it.
Yep.
There was a point in time, and of like 2011, 2012, where like you walk outside, you could hear it sounded like
A trumpet blast.
and everyone thought it was like Jesus, like, because that was when the whole like Mayan calendar thing was happening. Someone's like, "Oh, Jesus is coming! It's the horn of the angels, and that's the prophecy of him coming to
Well,
this
take
ties
everything away.
into like the whole like simulation theory thing,
Yes.
and like how like
Yep.
But
Every-
I super wanted to do that one, but I couldn't. There
See,
just wasn't anything to it.
Nobody caught the homeless guy that had an air compressor and a train horn underneath a bridge. That's all it was.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's all they discovered it being?
Oh, I don't know. I just remember being in college and having somebody fucking lug a train horn and an air compressor up to our fraternity and say, like, look at this! And fucking set it off.
Interesting.
And yes, he was homeless.
Wonderful.
Nice.
But yeah, they're very, very fun sounds. Speaking of other sounds, though, this is the part of the show where we're going to interview Dillon a little bit. Dillon, are you ready for me to dump into you with some weird questions?
I'm always ready for you to dump into me, Daddy. Let's get it.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Well, Papa's here, and he will fill your question needs. Anyway, so I was... When Loey, our buddy, Mike, who runs Undefined Graphics on Instagram and on Facebook. Look him up. He makes really good work.
Fantastic
Undefined Graphics, Mike Loey. He...
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But he did create our logo, the one that we use the most of. So if you like the kind of work...
I definitely noticed that.
Yep. You can see his fucking...
yeah, it's got Loey written all over it.
But since then, I've been kind of looking into a little bit of your guys' work and everything, because I'm not huge into the metal scene. I just started relatively getting into it because of Jason and Doug. So I was like, oh, this would be fun to venture down. So, quick question. One of the first things to pop up was The Gallows 3. I believe that's one of your more recent videos.
It's such a good
that was our most recent one that we dropped about, like
a month ago, right?
Fuck. On the 23rd of July, I think.
Oh, shit, yeah. So a couple weeks ago.
So
yeah, so it was pretty recent.
Where did you guys film that? Do you remember?
That was out in Pecatonica. So out on our new guitarist buddy's land. It's over by our bassist house and everything like that, and where our one guitarist used to live and stuff. But he had this open plot of land by this little pond, and he was like, yeah, go for it, because we had never done an outdoor video, so we decided to do that, and then it just kind of snowballed into whatever the fuck it turned out to be.
What was the boat was that little boat canoe thing a prop, or was that actually on his land?
Oh no, that was there. Everything that we didn't disturb the earth at all. We brought our instruments, we brought camo, we brought a fuck ton of guns and a case of Mountain Dew, and then we just went ham. And everything else that was in that, like all the stuff behind me and a couple of solo shots, that was all there. The boat was literally on that concrete slab, just chilling there.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're rocking a mullet throughout the thing.
Yes, I was.
A, is it real? B, if it is, bravo.
So A, it was real. I started growing it back in November. The video I sent you guys to, you can see it a lot more because I'm not wearing a hat. But
did you grow it specifically for this music video?
Oh God, no! I've been wanting a mullet for like 2 to 3 years.
Good fucking
to be honest,
man.
I've wanted one for a very, very long time. I've just never had the patience to grow my hair out.
Good man.
And my hair was super long over quarantine, so I was gonna cut it to that. But I also had this like really bad hair dye job from the girl I was dating at the time, and it just looked so bad. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna shave my head. So I shaved my head and started new.
So it sounds like you used this music video as an excuse for your mullet. You're like, oh,
honestly, like it was like I was born for it, dude. It just happened, like, because we literally came up with that country idea that same day. Like, because we had no idea what we were doing. That's kind of a Dead Awake common theme. There's 2 Dead Awake themes. One is we don't know what we're doing for that music video until the day of. That's what's happened on every single one of our music videos. And then 2, there's always going to be some sort of technical difficulty when we play live.
You
can just expect those 2 things.
I'm seeing some correlations between your project and ours. Just a couple.
Bro, technology sucks fucking all.
It does. It fucking sucks. But before we go any further, do we want to hit the public with some very personal music by Dillon and his band Dead Awake?
Yeah, let's
yes, I forgot we should probably do that first.
Do you want to just introduce this little sneak peek for us real quick?
Yeah. So this is a song called Introspection, and then in parentheses it's Loathing. The lyrics are from my perspective of basically like the voice in my head just telling me I'm not enough and everything like that. It is a very flashy, very quick cut video, so just a little warning for
like
anybody who might be a little bit photosensitive. Yeah, but it's a song that means a lot to me. It's on our new album Melancholia that's coming out in September on the 3rd. all sad shit. It's basically just a giant concept album about me being sad. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out on
selling it,
Slam
man.
Worldwide. It should be on there.
You are selling it.
Boy, I'm super happy.
But no, here you go, guys. Here's some brand fucking new Dead Awake. Enjoy. We're gonna play you a little clip here. We're gonna come back to us talking with Dillon.
Yes, because I
right
shouldn't
after.
have been asking questions yet. Michael, you idiot. Fuck. Roll the clip. Wow, what an absolute banger.
It's seriously.
It really is a banger.
I've been listening to them in surgery for like the last week because I wanted to make sure I had a good solid base. I've listened to them before. I've seen their shows. Like I said, Dillon, I saw you sing with Spite. That shit was
Greatest night of my life.
I know.
Greatest
I saw it
night
in your
of my life.
face. You literally said it to the crowd. You go, "These guys are my heroes. The fact that I'm up here singing with them right now is a fucking lifelong dream." So,
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
yes.
I have a couple more questions for you. One thing that I noticed that was not, I wouldn't say too weird, but got me kind of curious. You guys have an official YouTube page, yes? The Dead/Awake?
We kind of do, I
Yeah.
believe. There's always like the Dead Awake like topic pages that like YouTube kind of groups us in. I'm not entirely sure if we have a dedicated Facebook or YouTube page, just
Okay.
because we've released a lot of videos on different like platforms.
That's
and stuff, and
exactly what I was
channels.
going to ask. So I was on YouTube and I found a YouTube channel called Dead Awake, and I thought that was your official channel because
Is
it
it
had
the
all
Brain
of your
Dead
upload.
channel?
No, it's literally called just Dead Awake. So I thought it was the original one, but I noticed that there were no music videos uploaded to it. I thought that was your guys' original page, and I was gonna ask why no music videos on your actual page, because I have noticed that your music videos are kind of on separate pages. Why is that?
Yeah, so basically like in the metal scene and stuff, there's a lot of different prominent YouTube pages, a lot of different prominent like Facebook promotional pages and stuff like that too, where you can get a lot more exposure than the platforms that you have access to. So like Slam Worldwide, for instance, where we just dropped the Gallows 3 and where we're dropping that Introspection song you guys just listened to, they already have like a very wide listener base. They have like thousands of subscribers, thousands of followers on Twitter and Instagram and everything like that. So it's just basically a way of getting more exposure than we have access to.
Oh.
Just because a lot of people will go to like Slam Worldwide and Chugcore, used
Of
to go to
course.
Chugcore, and like all these other YouTube pages to
Have
get
you
new
ne-
music. So
What is Chugcore?
Mike, you need to enter the metal
That
universe.
sounds amazing.
You need to enter the metal universe. You need to come to a fucking Necrogoblicon / Rings of Saturn show with me.
God, I would
is
love
what
to
you
go
need
to
to
see
do.
Rings of Saturn. You mean the greatest drummer to ever exist?
Yes, and guitarist, but both of them are fucking douchebags.
Yeah. Well.
God,
Yeah.
sad.
I know, right?
Where? So, the band's name is Dead Awake. Why?
So
Where'd that come
there's
from?
actually,
That's a
yeah,
good question.
So,
I'm the worst interviewer.
No, I know that
fine.
I know that came from a panicky place. That was a good question, though, Mike.
Is it from the movie
No, it's
Dead
all
Awake?
no, so that's the other people think it is from the trash B film Dead Awake. But
okay,
I think
can you say that one more time? What rating movie was
It's
that?
like a trash B film.
It's a trash B film.
That's what I thought I heard.
I watched it, and it was not good. Like me and Peyton, our drummer, literally sat down and watched it for free on YouTube.
Like,
We were
fuck,
So those are the
"Fuck
same
this
dude
shit."
that did Final Destination, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
That's
No, I'm just a horror connoisseur,
just-
so I just know that off the top
Well, that
of
just
my
makes me more mad.
just an FYI. That is one of my favorite movies.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so where?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Where? Why? Where? Who?
No, so I joined the band a little bit later. So the original vocalist, his name was Noah. he came up with the name because we were originally going to be something completely different, just kind of like a deathcore name or whatever. I was going to be the original vocalist, and then my kind of time constraints and everything didn't allow for us to kind of make a cohesive schedule. So they basically moved on and got somebody else for the time being, which was fine. So Noah came up with the name, and he kind of equated it to like an ego death. Like when your ego's dead, you're kind of awake and you're kind of woke. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
You kind of just come into your own and everything like that. It wasn't until after I joined the band and was in it for 6 months that I realized that there was like a movie based on it. But when I yeah right. But when we asked him and when he was asked that question, he kind of equated it to that. It was just basically being an ego death, and he was a very spiritual person, and that kind of reflected in the lyrics that he wrote for the first EP compared to the things that I wrote on like the first album. A couple of songs on the EP and stuff like that. So he was a very spiritual person. And that was kind of his thing. So that's where he came up with the name.
Would you say that the music has, I guess, transformed is the word used from the first EP to now under you writing a lot of music?
Yeah. So I would say it evolved a lot. It's kind of, we have a really weird history as a band because that first EP I was referring to, we've released 3 separate times now. Because we put it out originally, they put it out with Noah, and then we signed to We Are Triumphant. We re-recorded it there, and then recently when we had our hiatus and everything over quarantine, to fill out our contract, we put the deluxe edition that we put out like only on CD for a little bit. We put that on streaming services and stuff like that. So it's been 3 separate times we've released that EP.
Okay.
With like the original demos and stuff like that. But the first album was kind of just because we had the majority of it written before we got signed, and then we pushed the release cycle back so that we could re-record the EP, re-put it out. And then it just kind of came into shape over about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. So it was kind of like, in my opinion, like I still love it. I'm still very proud of it. But our first album, just our self-titled album and everything, it's all over the place. The lyrical content for me is a little bit more immature than I would like. Just because you grow a lot.
That happens, yeah. When you first start out with, especially something super creative like you guys are doing, where you first start out and where you end are 2 very different destinations.
You quite literally just grow.
Yep.
Yeah, whenever I tell people to listen to our podcast, I'm like, just skip like the first 5 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I listened to our fucking Dream Survey episode like 2 days ago.
Oh, no.
It's...
So we had no outline. We had literally no direction on that episode. We literally went into it blind. We were all like, let's do our research and then talk about it. Like, we had zero...
Yep. It was bad, right? It was super bad. But I still like that episode more than I like the Bermuda Triangle episode.
Hell yeah.
So, Dillon, you're currently, I don't want to give away where you live, but in the Midwest. Are you a Midwest boy?
Kinda. So, I've been moving around my entire life. Not an army brat or anything like that. Just my dad works for like corporate dairy companies and on the corporate level and stuff. So whenever like a job would be lost or whenever he would get promoted, we would basically have to relocate. But the majority of my life I have spent in the Midwest. So majority of it being in Wisconsin.
So you're super Midwest if you're from Wisconsin.
Oh, well, I mean, right. I've been 21 since I was 15.
So Casey's Pizza, you've had it.
Yes.
All right.
And
so you're a true Midwestern.
Stop.
Yes.
How does it stack up in your pizza list? Where's Casey's at?
I mean, it's up there. I wouldn't say it's the highest unless we're talking about strictly just the breakfast pizza, because the breakfast pizza is god tier.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's like, if you're hungover, anybody in the Midwest who has access to a Casey's that's listening to this, if you're hungover, if you want a cure right then and there, Casey's breakfast pizza and a Red Bull.
Hey,
Not even joking.
Do you want a bunch of grease? Do you want some gravy? Do you want some cheese? Do you want a heart attack? Fucking have
Go to
Casey's. Yes, exactly.
So I have one more small Midwestern, to see how Midwestern you are. Are you ready?
You're all good. Yeah.
All right. Finish the sentence. Save big money at
Menards.
There it is. Okay, great.
That's your question. All right. So let's ignore Mike.
Shut up. Okay.
So actually, I got one.
Okay.
Because I was just curious.
I'll allow it.
So one of my favorite songs that you guys do is friends with R in the parentheses.
Yep.
Is it supposed to be a play on the word fiends?
Like,
I was just
Yes,
curious.
it is.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Michael, our guitarist, actually wrote that, and it's the subject matter is like he wrote the lyrics for it, but the subject matter is basically watching friends from like a small town kind of fall to drug addiction and everything like that. So that's why the R's in parentheses, because they're your friends, but they're also fiends at the same time. So
Damn.
Okay.
that's
That
kind of what
fucking
he
that
wrote it
hits
as.
home.
So.
It's so cool to have this like background view
No,
on the
seriously,
songs now,
like,
because yeah.
Especially after listening to them.
Well, literally-
for me anyway, all fucking day.
Yeah, no,
Oh, but-
I did the same thing. Like, I literally, like, I had you guys just on play during my... So, I work for a company called Dealer Inspire. Basically, I'm just a web engineer. And I just had you guys on play all day while I did my job. So...
Well, thank you.
Hey, so Dylan, I actually have some feedback from today because I regularly bring like a Bluetooth speaker to work with me. So like, I mean,
hell yeah.
no surgery's complete without a fucking soundtrack.
Goddamn right.
So for the last 2 cases I did, I had your band playing, and both times we're in consensus from 2, I don't know, 60 to 70-year-old doctors saying that your music sounds like shit and you should never make music again. Would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, dude, to each their own, man. Like that's the thing is most people. I wouldn't have gone into this genre of music if I would have thought everybody would have liked it. You know, like you just you're not a metal musician to like kind of appeal to everybody. You're a metal musician because you love the music, and that's why I love the scene so much. Because people like Loey, people like you guys, you know, like people who actually give a shit about the community and the love of the music, you know. So I mean, to each their own. They probably think AC/DC is good, so I'm not gonna worry.
Oof, you hit my dad.
You know what's funny? One of the surgeons that talked some shit about you, that's his favorite band.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you want to listen to 16 albums of the same 3 chords over and over again, then I guess.
Yes.
It's okay though. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't understand everybody to like. I wouldn't expect everybody to understand. You know, like I just told you guys a couple of different background stories of a couple of our different songs. You know, and like you guys had no idea. Like I don't expect anybody to know. Like every single song that we've written has a story behind it, and I wouldn't expect people to know unless they just like went and did a full-blown deep dive. But that's why I like to talk about it, you know. So I wouldn't expect them to understand, and it's all good. Fuck it, they're making way more money than I am doing it.
Dude, yeah, fucking Angus Young.
Yeah.
Young.
Dude, we super appreciate you coming out tonight and, you know, sitting with us.
I have a couple more questions.
Go ahead, but
I just wanted to appreciate him. God damn it.
No, fuck off, Doug. Mike, when you're done, let me know, because I have one final question that I'm sure all of us will appreciate.
Like as the end question?
Yes.
Okay. So I noticed. Do you recall your music video?
This better be a good question.
I have a couple of them. Do you recall the video you made for the Pale Horse?
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Because there's 2. Yeah, the first one, yes, I do.
Where the fuck did you guys record that at?
Actually,
That
we're
was
all
at
wondering that.
Yeah, so that was at that was in Iowa near the Quad Cities. So basically the guy who's done all of our music videos, his name is Joe Gibbs. If you ever need a music video, go to him. He's incredible. We love him to death. But he lives in the Quad Cities in Iowa. He's in a band called 5 AM and everything out there. But he was like, yeah, I got this like place that my dad's buddy owns. We can just record out there. It'll be awesome. So
it looks like an abandoned fucking like mill house or something.
It's a grain elevator, like an abandoned grain elevator.
Okay, we may need that.
Yeah, no, we're looking for some places to take some real grody pictures, and that seems like one of them.
It's incredible, dude. If you hit up Joe, he'll take you to it because it's a really great spot. But we also did that in the middle of fucking summer.
Oof.
With no air conditioning on the 3rd floor.
No, thank you.
Yeah, each one of us, I think collectively, we had like a 124 pack of water between like the 6 of us, and it was gone in like an hour, and all of us peed once that day.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
It was so bad, but yeah.
Who's your favorite artist?
That's a fantastic question, Mike.
That is a great question.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Thanks, Beep.
I mean, I have a lot of different like favorite artists and stuff. I would say like if I had to narrow it down to 2, like the one who really got me into music was Eminem for sure. back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm like a huge rap fan and everything like that too.
Like
Hell yeah,
7th,
my guy.
8th grade about.
See, that's where I come into play with you. Your boy is the rap man of the group here.
Real quick, how old
Yep.
are you?
I'm 25.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
still
cool.
fucking just- Well, Jason's technically grandpa.
All right.
I am grandpa on this
So
fucking
I
this
think
show.
this will be probably the most interesting.
Oh no, I guarantee my question is
question.
gonna be way more interesting than yours.
Okay, cool. Have you had any paranormal experiences in your life?
Yes, I have actually.
Oh,
I was
fuck,
really
please
hoping
tell
this
us.
question would
Yeah,
come.
give us a little summary on that.
All right, so this was around 2014, 2015. This was the first time I went to college, like I was telling you guys before. I went to UW Oshkosh for music business and music production. Ended up just drinking my body weight in beer and smoking way too much weed and not doing well at school. But that left me with a bunch of free time to just do random bullshit, with my friends and stuff. UW Oshkosh is a very old campus. There's a bunch of old dorms and everything like that. I lived in one of the older dorms, but a couple of my friends lived in the one kind of like in the center of campus. I can't even remember what it's called. I would have to look it up and everything. But basically, what we decided to do one night when we were just getting hammered beyond all belief when we should have been in class, sorry, Mom, was we decided to go to the basement of Nelson Hall, which is a residence building at UW Oshkosh. And we decided to play with a Ouija board. Now, I grew up Methodist and everything like that, so I'd always been told not to fuck with that stuff, but I was gonna do it anyway because I was drunk and it seemed interesting, and I was like, this is all bullshit. Total non-believer. This was around the time that the atheism really started to kind of take heed. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go do that. We're gonna have a good time. So we went to the basement of this big ass resident hall. Nobody was down there. It was like, I want to say 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And we set up at a table, turned all the lights off, lit a candle because, we had to get the aesthetics right. And we just started playing with this Ouija board, just put it out and everything like that. The whole run of the mill, is anyone here? Went over to yes. And then we just kind of asked it random questions. We were going around in a circle asking it questions. And one of my friends was like, what's your name? And it spelled out Sarah. And we were like, did you die here? And it went to yes. And like one of our friends looked it up, like looked up Sarah, student dead, UW Oshkosh or whatever. And somebody by the name of Sarah, she was 20, did die in Nelson Hall because of like heart complications or something like that. Like we had no idea. We looked that up and we were super shook because there's no way that any of us knew that. I was drunk, so I was confident as all shit. I was like 8 feet tall. Everybody's going around asking questions, like stupid shit, like how was the campus when you were here, or like what was your favorite color, what was your favorite sports team growing up and stuff. And it gets to me, and I'm just gonna full send it, So I just said, is heaven and hell real? And I felt everybody's eyes just like dig into my face. I was like, I'm literally talking to a ghost. I'm gonna ask this. And it spelled out, no heaven, just hell. The candle went out, and then Ouija board flew off the table. So I freaked out. I immediately stood up. I was in shock. I stood up and I walked to the local Catholic Newman Center, whatever the fuck it was called. And I just immediately went to the father that was there, and I was like, I'm not Catholic. I'm not religious. I need a blessing or something because I just fucked with a Ouija board. And the dude threw some holy water on me, had me cross my arms, did some shit, and I went about my day. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
God damn.
Yeah, gotta give a big old fuck that to that. That's terrifying, and I wouldn't even say it's terrifying in like, the scary way. That's just
In
like
an
an
existential way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking no
that's
heaven,
the,
only hell.
Yeah, that's it. And it
What do
scared
I-
the shit out of me because like I was going through a really hard time at that point too, and I had no idea. Like I was like low key really really depressed and like going through some stuff, and I heard that, and it was like, you're right. Like none of this is worth
Yeah,
it.
just fucking
like-
adds on top of everything.
So I know
Yeah,
I know
and-
we've actually talked about this on the show before. So me and Jason, we claim to be like Satanists. That's like what the practice we follow right now. But
We're
one of
slowly transitioning.
we are slowly transitioning. So one of the before my move, I just moved from Carroll Stream over to the Naperville Aurora area. One of the books I've been reading is the Bible of Cthulhu. And there's actually some like crazy similarities in what your story has to say to what the Satanic Bible says and what the Cthulhu Bible says. It's really, really bizarre, and it's really kind of eye-opening on my end as far as what what you experience. Like,
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm a connoisseur of the scary, the paranormal, the weird. Obviously, we do this fucking podcast to
I was
talk
gonna
about
say,
all
why
the
the
weird
fuck
shit.
do you think we do this exact podcast?
And one of the biggest,
Right.
one of the biggest tropes that I see throughout these couple of Bibles, quote unquote, is that there isn't a hell or a heaven. But when I think about like what hell is, it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like almost like therapeutic to know that there is a hell and there isn't a heaven, which is kind of morbid to say almost.
Depends on how you look at it.
But like I think it makes sense. Like I almost want to say that hell is like what we make it.
Right.
Like we're living in hell right now. That's kind of the way I see it, and I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I don't want to get too much into it. But bro, that story was absolutely mind-boggling.
You touched on some topics that that the three of us might be a little familiar with.
Yeah, right. But you know what? Let's save that for the bonus episode.
Oh.
Okay.
We are stretching on almost an hour 40 minutes here.
Yeah,
so
no, I mean, we're having a good time, though.
we are, and we're going to stretch into the bonus episode for the people that want to subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/deludipod. You can find us in many other places, but before we go into where else you can find us and Dillon's band Dead Awake, Jason has one more question for Dillon. Dillon, are you ready?
I do. I have
Yes.
one question for
How
you.
about you
Dylan.
let him answer my question?
Go ahead, Mike.
Dillon, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, baby.
Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck
All right,
yeah.
Dylan, this is the question of all questions. We all need an answer, a very honest answer. You ready? How many meatballs do you think?
That's the question.
Oh, how many meatballs do I think?
How many meatballs do you think?
The first number to pop into my head was 4. I'm gonna go with 4.
All right.
4. All right, we got.
You
answer
got the
number one.
audience up in an uproar. That was amazing.
I have one last question.
I will say that you were impeccably close.
Oh God.
What's up, Doug?
I actually don't know how to phrase this now, but
It's been 4 seconds. What happened?
that's 4 whole meatballs.
That's what she said.
What if spider puss?
No, does Spider have puss?
Does spider have puss? That's the better way to phrase it.
Does spider have puss?
Does Spider have puss?
Mino thinks spider do.
Well, on that note, again, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/deludipod. If you go to our Linktree, linktree.com/deludipod, you can find all of our links to all of our socials, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything like that. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, because that means a super lot to me. You could buy us a beer, even at, what's
No,
it called?
please. Oh, speaking of, fuck.
We already did.
Yeah,
You're right.
What's it
we
called
did.
again?
It's buymeacoffee.com.
buymeacoffee.com/deludipod.
Yep.
You can literally just Google us. Don't look under the internet, or Deludipod, and you'll find all of our shit.
Yeah, just search literally Deludipod, and you will find every piece of media that we are on.
Yep.
Like, we're everywhere right now.
Dylan, go ahead and plug your guys' stuff. Go ahead, dump into the audience what you want.
Hell yeah, I'll dump into them all day. Just kidding. Anyway, so you can find my band Dead/Awake. It's edgy, I know, but it's cool. You can find us on YouTube at different kind of various YouTube channels like we were talking about before. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music, all of that
Fuck,
good shit.
Tidal?
Yes, we're on Tidal.
Holy shit. I don't... we'll get into that in the fucking bonus episode. But I remember reading when it first came out that that's kind of a difficult thing to do. So congrats.
Well, thanks. I believe so. It was advertised like we were on there. That's probably Michael Campa's thing. But yeah, so you can find us anywhere you stream music. We have a big cartel page for future merch and stuff. Be on the lookout for that. And please listen to our album Melancholia when it comes out in September. If you're a fan of metal music, I have poured my absolute heart and soul. We have poured our absolute heart and souls into this album. This is our Iowa, so it would mean a lot if you listen to it. And,
you have no idea how much that means to me and Doug specifically.
Now, when does the album drop again?
Yeah, September 3rd.
Okay, so I want people to do me a favor. September 3rd is also the day of my wedding. As a wedding gift to me, all you listeners, go buy the album.
Raid Dead Awake's channel. Go fucking listen to them. They will shut your shit up and they will fuck you down, whatever the fuck that means. Their newest single, what's it called? Gallows 3
No, Introspection.
No.
Loathing.
Gallows 3 is the one that was out, but the one we just
their
played was
newest
Introspective.
release, Gallows 3, is amazing. The one that is coming out very, very soon, Introspection, which is what you guys just heard. Please go check them out. They're amazing. They are incredible. They have a Papa John's logo somewhere on the internet. It's fantastic.
And if you want to hear more fun questions and, just overall shit shooting from all four of us here, the bonus episode that we're going to release after this, Dylan's going to stick around for a little bit. So tune into that. Other than that, go fuck grandma.
Yeah.
Preferably not yours, but if you have to, I guess fine. Who am I to fucking judge?
Yeah, mine has dementia, so that might be really easy.
Well, yeah.
What?
Doug, do you have anything to say to the people?
Yeah, if you haven't in a while, take your beans, and then pull out your peens, and if you take the weens and the peens together and just fucking slap them.
Just slap them around.
Slap them around.
Okay.
Do that.
Okay.
You all deserve it. So slap your peens, slap your beans, one fluid motion.
Make rice with all of it.
It's a great time, I swear.
Jason,
You
have
won't
anything to
regret
say to the people?
I normally would.
Actually, right before you. Dylan, do you have anything to say to the people?
You know what? No, we can do it the same way. I'd like to relinquish my command of this sentence to our guest. So please, all of you out there, remember...
Dylan, that's your cue.
Stay paranoid.
Oh, you heard the man!
You fucking heard him. Stay goddamn paranoid. We love you all. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Dylan, say bye.
Bye.